Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Marufu and I will be your host for Far From Eden podcast, which I am super excited about. And it's been around for a bit. Some of you may remember it under a different theme. I have changed the theme up quite a bit this year. So basically this video is to give you an overview of what will be coming up with through Far From Eden, the type of conversations we'll be having, and yeah, basically just to get you guys as excited as I am. So I'm just going to start with the name. Why Far From Eden? Basically, I do believe that we live in a lot of grays, especially in our like modern generation. So, Far From Eden is basically coming from a point of how we are far from the like kind of level of paradise or happiness or however it is that you define it in your way, that we're aiming for and we're striving for. So basically that falls into, well, it kind of leads me into talking about what the theme will actually be. And what I've decided to do this time around is to invite different guests of different, like in different places in their life. So it's mostly young people to start with. And it'll be people who either have started, are starting on, or are midway through whatever section they are in. And in a certain, like on a certain path, so with a certain goal. And basically what I've asked these people to do, these upcoming guests, I say people, these guests to do before they come onto the show is to think about a quote or a life philosophy that they're following. In most cases, it's just like bam, like you know exactly what you're aiming for. That quote is probably on your wall. In some cases, it takes a little more thought to like put it into like a few words, right? But basically, all the guests will pick a quote or a very brief caption of some sort to represent what they are trying to follow or what they are trying to live by. And the conversations will just be around the gray areas that are between actually picking that quote and saying, okay, this is what suits my goals and this is what suits my life and this is where I want to be, and actually getting to that point where you're living by that and you start feeling like a hypocrite, and those feelings of imposter syndrome, which I'm very familiar with, start to kind of fade away and the philosophy itself starts to show through you. Yeah, so basically the reason I did start this is I love podcasts, I love reading, I love watching interviews and so on. However, I did find that in some cases there was something missing for me. So that those stages, I find that a lot of people talk about the beginning and the end, and they talk about it from that like romanticized retrospective thing that we all do once in a while. So I thought, why not have discussions about it on a more practical level, or while we're actually still going through those stages. So this is hopefully about to be very raw and very authentic. I have requested that all my guests be as authentic as possible so that you can actually gain something out of it. If anything, you can find something that you can relate to. If nothing else, you can just enjoy hearing other people talk about their life and that transition and those gray areas, which I think are so important. And this will be through the lens of whatever they want it to be. So it can be a philosophical quote, it can be biblical, it can be financial, it can be a song. I have put no restrictions whatsoever because I want it to be as genuine as possible. And I really do hope that you can gain from these conversations. I will be publishing episodes weekly for about 12 weeks straight, so it'll be a full season. And yeah, it will be easily accessible on the YouTube channel. I'll put all these links in different places. The YouTube channel, the Spotify, your Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, name it. Except I think SoundCloud might be a bit of an issue, but I will get back to you on that. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this so far, and I do hope to see you support as we go on with the season. And yeah, your feedback is always appreciated. I will try to have as much interaction as possible through Instagram, by the way, follow the page on Instagram at Far From Eden. If you can't find it, please find it from my Instagram page at Michelle Marufu. It will be in my bio. Yeah, see you around.